Meet Leo. He has his eye on a very specific pair of rocket-powered rollerblades. He wants them so badly that he is willing to spend up to $500 to get them. That $500 is his absolute maximum limit, or his reservation price. He walks into the store and discovers the market price is actually only $300. He buys the rollerblades instantly. Because he was ready to part with $500, that $200 difference remains in his pocket. It feels like free money. Economists define this invisible value as consumer surplus, or Konsumentenrente. It is the calculated gap between what a consumer is willing to pay and the market price they actually pay. If we gather everyone in Leo's town and line them up by their personal reservation prices for those same rollerblades, from the highest willing spender down to the lowest, we get a descending staircase of data. With enough people, that staircase smooths out into a descending slope. By connecting those individual price tolerances, we form the classic market demand curve. This chart shows the demand curve, F1 of Q, on an axis with a horizontal actual price line marked P0. The shaded triangle area, marked XC, trapped beneath the demand curve but strictly above the market price, is the total consumer surplus. That trapped geometric area represents the collective net benefit. It is the quantifiable measure of financial satisfaction the buyer successfully extracted from the market. If a market's demand curve is a perfectly straight line, calculating the town's total happiness is a straightforward geometry problem. Because the surplus forms a standard right triangle, you calculate the area by multiplying the base by the height and dividing by 2. This page contrasts two models, a linear demand graph and a curved one below. Human desire rarely follows a straight line. Mapping a straight-edged triangle onto that curved graph fails, leaving unmeasurable gaps between simple geometry and the actual curve of demand. This document shows the complex integral equations for consumer surplus at the top of the page. The definite integral is the specific mathematical tool designed to calculate these unpredictable, curved spaces. The integral calculates the perfect area by slicing the curved shape into an infinite number of infinitely thin vertical bars. By adding up the microscopic area of every single bar, it perfectly measures the exact space trapped under the curve. Calculus is the required instrument here. We need it to perfectly quantify the true value consumers get out of unpredictable, nonlinear markets. Suppose the seller recognizes the massive consumer surplus sitting out there and raises the price to capture it. We then have to measure exactly how the town will react. We measure that reaction using the price elasticity of demand. This formula divides the percentage change in quantity by the percentage change in price to determine the market sensitivity. In an inelastic market, buyers barely flinch when prices rise. But in a highly elastic market, a tiny price increase causes demand to plummet. If we return to the perfectly straight linear demand curve, we run into a counterintuitive mathematical paradox regarding its stretchiness. Even though the physical slope of this straight line remains completely constant, its elasticity changes drastically depending on exactly where you are on the line. At the very top, where prices are high, demand is highly elastic. In the exact middle, it's unitary, equaling exactly 1. At the very bottom, it's rigidly inelastic. If a straight line doesn't possess constant elasticity, what kind of line actually does? You have to draw a constant elasticity demand curve. It is a hyper-specific, exponential, bowed-in curve where the percentage ratio between price and quantity stays perfectly identical no matter where you check it. Economics maps the exact, calculable physics of human desire. By applying these specific geometric and calculus models, we can measure behavioral tension and define market satisfaction with total precision.